Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Now, there's a man who knew a thing or two about courage and perseverance. Sir Winston Churchill, the British bulldog himself, faced down the greatest threats of the 20th century with a cigar in one hand and a glass of whiskey in the other. And in between saving the world and winning Nobel Prizes, he found time to drop a few pearls of wisdom like the one we just mentioned. Now, let's take a moment to unpack this Churchillian wisdom. It's not about the number of times you win or lose. It's all about the fight in the dog, or in this case, the bulldog. Like the time Churchill was faced with a particularly challenging crosswords puzzle. Did he give up? Nah, he kept on trucking, eventually solving the whole thing using only the power of his wit and determination. Just like Churchill, we've all got our own battles to fight. The key is to keep on trucking, no matter what comes your way. Ever heard about the pigeon who thought he was an eagle? Now this ain't your typical city pigeon, mind you. This one had dreams bigger than the highest skyscraper. Despite the squawks of ridicule from the other birds in the park, this pigeon, let's call him Pete, believed he was born to soar with the eagles. Pete would leap off the tallest tree branches, wings flapping with all his might. Every time, gravity would win, pulling him back to earth with a soft thud. But did Pete give up? No siree. He'd dust off his feathers, give a defiant coo, and try again. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and one glorious day, Pete did something astonishing. He flew higher than any pigeon ever had. He soared, my friends, soared like an eagle. Remember, folks, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. Be like the persistent pigeon. Now let's switch gears and talk about a flea. Yes, you heard right, a flea. Not your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill pest, but a flea with ambition. This little critter decided one day that it was tired of the status quo. It looked around and thought, why should I only jump as high as nature intended? I want to soar. So it began its journey, jumping and leaping, each time pushing its boundaries. There were plenty of faceplants, and I'm sure a few flea-sized headaches, but did it give up? No siree. It kept at it, each jump a testament to its tenacity. And one day, after much effort and probably a lot of swearing in flea language, it did it. It jumped higher than any flea had ever jumped before. It was a veritable flea Neil Armstrong, taking one giant leap for flea kind. So, you see, no matter how small you feel, always have the courage to aim high. Be like the fearless flea. Now let's circle back to where we started. The wise words of Winston Churchill. We've spun tales of persistent pigeons and fearless fleas. But the common thread? Courage and perseverance, my friends. That pigeon that wouldn't quit. It teaches us that success is not a final destination. It's a journey, a continuous flight. And the flea? It reminds us that failure isn't a death sentence, it's a stepping stone, an opportunity to bounce back higher and stronger. But let's not forget the Churchillian wisdom that ties it all together. Winston Churchill, a man of many words, once found himself stuck in a room with a pesky fly. He quipped, "Even this fly has the courage to pester me." It's not successful and it's far from fatal, but it continues. A little humor to underline our point, folks. Remember, success isn't final, failure isn't fatal, but it's the courage to continue that counts. So go on, be courageous, and keep your sense of humor. Until next time, folks.